Hey guys, it's David here, and I just of course finished my workout. I'm in my office at home, and I was I was reading this post on LinkedIn, and it was on ketonic diets, and watching all the comments. It was just extraordinary. These people, they were just beating the hell out of each other. Basically, it's calling each other an idiot, and you have no idea what you're talking about. Look at all the results that I've got from my product or my company and my ideas. And holy crap, I mean, it was fascinating because it's the one thing about any sort of scientific endeavor, there's massive variability. And what works for some people some of the time does not work for everybody all the time. There's seasonal variations in dietary behavior. There's periods of illness. There's, training intensities, right? I'm an athlete, so when I'm training hard, gearing up for competition, my nutritional demands shift, right? My protein demands shift. My alkaline mineral content shifts. I mean, so it's a massive variability. There's some basic foundational things that I think that are fairly consistent across the board. But again, that has variability to it as well, whether we're vegan, cultural differences, genetic differences, environmental, again, the state of health, where we're starting from. There's just too many variables to count. But they were just beating the hell out of each other. And, and I doubt any of these people with these very strong opinions about, what is right and what is wrong, and has any human cell cultures in a petri dish at home doing their own experiments. They're not researchers, and I'm not a researcher. I think I'm fairly well read and open minded, but I step out of the way when it comes to owning a Bunsen burner, having a petri dish at home, running my own clinical experiments. Again, it's really subjective, and it's unfortunate because I remember Stephen Covey once said that first seek to understand before seeking to be understood. And really, I'm fascinated and open-minded about all the possibilities that there is about nutrition, because I want to learn. I want to do better for me. I want to do better for the people that seek my advice. So I use lots of various things to sustain and improve my health, and then I look for lots of options for other people as well. There was a great author that came to mind when I was reading all these posts, and it's Dr. David Hawkins, who wrote this really incredible book called Power versus Force. And what he said in this book in the very beginning really caught my attention. He said, mankind's dilemma has been, will always continue to be, he believes his mental artifacts to be reality. And the questions he poses about the reality he's viewing are biased on the viewpoint of the questioner. Okay, so that's kind of a mouthful. So basically all he said is that we actually believe what we think is true. We actually believe the thoughts in our head are actually true, which is a big mistake. And the questions we're asking are inherently biased on our pre-existing prejudice and our point of view. So we're asking questions. We're not looking for an answer different than the one that we already assume to be the truth, generally, right? So it's hugely subjective, our opinions, because you can't even pose a question without actually having a reference point of an idea that you already believe to be true. And we see that, of course, in all big conversations, whether it's about health, whether it's about religion, whether it's about politics, you name it. There's there's massive variability. And I find, getting back to Stephen Covey's quote, first seek to understand before we come forth with our opinion, before we allow ourselves to be evoked about and throw our opinion onto the table. Really, we want to take the opportunity to try to understand where the other person is coming from, so we get a better idea what the reference is. Because it's not the question that we're so much curious about. It's where is the question coming from? Where's the reference point for that, where that question was given birth? And if we can understand that piece, then we actually have a better place for mutual conversation understanding. See, I don't have to agree with you, but I can have a conversation with you. And if we keep the conversation more about trying to understand each other's point of view, step into the other person's version of reality, just temporarily, to really see the perspective, I think not only will we gain a greater understanding about where they're coming from, of course, but we may even actually learn something along the way. But it's, if you ever have a chance, Dr. David Hawkins' book, Power versus Force, an incredible read, a big read, not something we want to do late at night because he's going to beat your brains out a little bit, but really kind of shakes the foundational premise of how we view reality. And I think it's a great read, and it's a great eye-opening piece of literature if you have the time and effort, or the time and inclination to go through it. Hope you guys have an extraordinary day. We'll talk to you soon.